This video is another process video of me working on a painting for my upcoming 5e compatible book. In this case, I'm working on a revamp of a dragon I made up a long time ago. It's going to be a large, complicated stat block, which includes wormling, young, adult, and ancient, as well as the fact that I will be including different template abilities to add spellcasting on to any dragon. This dragon's base stat block will already be much more complicated than the average stat block in 5e, as it will have lots of powers, abilities, and spell effects. The Jungle Dragon is a powerful, generally neutral but any aligned dragon. They have a base climbing and swimming speed and can hold their breath for a long time. All their attacks are magical, and they're good against fear-based effects. They have many different powers, which are spells from the book I'm working on, and they have 2 different breath weapons. Their breath weapons line up with their damage immunities. They have many skills and saving throw proficiencies, and mysteriously, both of their breath weapons do not harm plants and plant creatures. In order to allow the environment they live in, jungles, to be protected from part of the harm of them battling in it. Magically, they have a morphic camouflage, which gives them a color-shifting body. When they hold perfectly still and have shifted their colors to match the background, they gain an additional +10 bonus on stealth. And when they move, they're still able to stealth due to this morphic camouflage. They also have a claw-based pounce attack, which allows them to leap a certain amount, and they can cast as a bonus action a version of the fly spell. Otherwise, they do not fly and don't possess wings. It can be done quickly as a bonus action, but still requires concentration. Their morphic camouflage also requires concentration if they're in battle, so they'd have to choose one or the other, as well as a few of their spell abilities might also take concentration. So they have to choose which of their abilities to use their concentration on. Quite fast and dexterous, very large ones are intended to affect the environment near them, as they can also enhance the growth of plants. Jungles they live in tend to be giant jungles. A magical terrain I came up with a long time ago is the concept of very, very large scaled up jungles that have many large, strong branches, which allow a higher canopy ecosystem for arboreal life that will allow them to function on a larger scale. And not just for jungle dragons, but for other large creatures. Large, tree-dwelling worm creatures, and very large-sized arboreal animals, like giant versions of monkeys and pangolins and other creatures. A giant jungle is an interesting terrain that I intend to feature, or at least mention, in my upcoming book. Sorry for the continued amount of flashing images here, and the fact that sometimes I'm flipping between different layers. The way I'm working on this, on different layers, allows me to use a scale brush to help as a guide, but I still draw in every scale on another layer. I decided the scale brush didn't quite look good enough because I wanted to be able to highlight some areas of the scales as being darker, while having other areas not filled in or be lighter or different shades. I probably could have found a way to manipulate the scale brush more directly, but for some reason I opted to work on each individual scale on its own. I'm intentionally leaving some mysteries about the dragon, even though I've now filled out all 4 stat blocks so that people will be very curious and interested to get the book. I'm working more on a white background here because it will be printed in the book with just the branches and the dragon on a white background. I'm also going to paint a separate jungle dragon with different coloration on the skin that shows the body more clearly and more from the side, with perhaps more of a front view on the head, and maybe a different age of dragon for the book to show more of the overall anatomy so that I can have two different pictures. The other picture will probably be looking in a different pattern or camouflaged coloration, but on a blank white background, with perhaps a little bit of watercolor texture or something. As this is more for a bestiary section of a reference book, I can't just think about it as a whole artwork, but as a bestiary reference artwork. The truth is, I'm working on a background for if I want to print a version with a background as well, but the real purpose of this painting is to be seen as an example of this creature's species in a reference book, and it needs to be able to illustrate what the creature looks like, not just be a beauty piece for its own purposes. As I said, I did a lot of work on the scales. I really worked things out on separate layers. I made sure to include highlights, but I couldn't have the very edge of things be too bright against the white because I know the background is going to be a white page. Even though if I was working on a darker background or more of a jungle background, I might do white around the edges in order to give it a very clear rim light. I have to be careful with the way I'm rim lighting in this. I invented the jungle dragon a very long time ago, sometime in the mid-90s, between 1995 and 1998 I believe, and this current modern version stays true to the original design in all kinds of different ways, including powers and functionality, as well as general appearance. Well, here it is. I'm quite happy with it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Once again, that's all for this video. If you like my videos, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell to all notifications so you will know when a new video comes up. I aim for new videos every Wednesday, but sometimes life happens and things are delayed. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you with another one very soon.